Hello, everybody. So, most of my life, I was convinced I was living a life full of shameful things. I knew what I heard, and I heard that my body needed improvements. You see, all my life I was redhead and fat girl. And all around me, I was told by everyone and everything around me that it wasn't how I was supposed to look. GIEDRḵ, maybe you should try a gastric bandage. It will fix your life. These exact words came from a person close to me, and it struck me deep. My life needed improvements. This is one of many comments which I heard in different forms. And I start thinking and accepting the idea that maybe all fat people, including me, whatever we said or whatever we did, we were living wrong way, and we're not determined enough to reach this one common goal: lose weight and become normal, happy human being. And I could easily accept this idea if not that doubt and strong feeling inside me that all this message about my type of people was so awfully wrong. And just recently, while talking to my friend about this possible topic to this wonderful conference, I learned of the poster child, a definition for a person or quality that epitomizes a cause. So for example, no, not this example. For example, this lady could be a perfect poster child for an active, healthy person. What else we could say about her? That maybe she runs at least 10 miles a day and has zero chance dying of heart attack. What can we say about this next lady? That she's a poster child for a lazy and living life full of bad habits human being? So by seeing these examples, we have those thoughts and associations as a society just by watching at those two girls. But how often do our expected beliefs fool us? Let me introduce you to a triathlon competitor since 2004, Krista Henderson, and a competitive top-ranked eater, Sonia Thomas. Unexpected? Do we question what we see? Or do we put labels straight away based on what we heard, what is good or bad, ugly or beautiful? And this is how stereotypes are born. And the main stereotype towards the appearance is what is beautiful is usually good. It's very irrational but the deep-seated belief that beautiful, usually lean people are also possessing other qualities such as confidence, competence, intelligence, and social skills. For example, fairy princess, she's always good and beautiful, and her wicked stepmother, always fat and ugly. So, according to surveys, the first time a thought to a girl's mind that something wrong with her body comes when she reaches 5 years old. Just before she turns 10 years old, already 81% of them have already been on at least one diet. And this number increases when we grow. 91% of grown-up women think that they are not beautiful, and they just don't accept themselves just the way they are. Social Issue Research Center told that current media ideal of thinness from women is approachable less by 5% of female population. So it's normal for us to have these self-diminishing thoughts that we are always not enough of something. Lean waist, white teeth, long hair, toned hands, smoking hot stomach abs. Outside world always tells us which type of people can live their life to the fullest. And the rest of us, what do we do to accomplish it? There is one more example. You all know, right? This is this famous girl, singer and actress, Lady Gaga? Well, she revealed that her outrageous onstage costumes are made to cover her inside insecure personality who stands behind Lady Gaga's persona. And dealing with the fat shamers online and watching how magazines Photoshop her body to be perfect hit her very hard. She became socially insecure of how people and world perceived her. But hey, let's go from the stars to the earth. Let me introduce you to my wonderful mentor, GIEDRḵ. And I met her just some weeks ago, and she told me that 20 years ago, someone said that her hips are fat. And this simple remark, told by someone she barely knew, turned into lifelong insecurity. So you see, outside world makes a great impact of how we feel about ourselves and how we see ourselves in the mirror. And just by knowing this, I knew I had two choices. Either accept the status quo or start working with my own thoughts and start changing my own life. So I included those 3 A's in my life, which helped me to learn how to love myself and to live life full of joy and happiness. Well, first A is accept. And accept always includes diversity and self. 3 years ago, I just accidentally saw those British bloggers boycotting advertising telling which kind of bodies are summer ready. I was shocked how many girls of all kinds of sizes and shapes were telling no matter your body shape, everybody's summer ready. Everybody can be loved and everyone can accept themselves. And when I started following them, it wasn't easy for me to see this diversity, since I always was used to this one type of beauty and one kind of truth. But it was so refreshing. And it was a matter of days when my own perception of beauty started changing, and my self-acceptance started growing. According to psychologist Roger Shepard, self-acceptance is individuals' happiness and satisfaction with oneself. It also helps with your mental health. Every time I hit the gym, the first thing I would do, weigh myself. And I noticed that all my goals, my worth, and my value depended on those numbers on the scale. And no matter the day, if the scale numbers didn't match my expectations, then all the work I did was worthless, and I counted myself as not hard trying enough. So you see, this psychologically is unhealthy to let any number determine your value and self-image. But yet, how many of us let those numbers decide whether we had good or bad day, whether or not we are feeling good about ourselves? And how often do scale numbers bring us from self-confident to self-loathing? Usually it happens in less than 3 seconds. So by just understanding that, I decided to quit them. The next thing what I did, I stopped comparing myself to others. Before that, every time a gorgeous lady would pass me, in my head I would think, oh, her hands are more beautiful. Oh, her waist is more lean. Oh, she's so much more attractive than me. But now I understand that all of us are individuals with our own strengths and weaknesses. And instead of comparing to each other, maybe it's better to start celebrating each differences. So, self-acceptance is not a one-day goal. You won't reach it in a day. It has its ups and downs. But that while taking it, you understand that this positive feeling coming with it is so much more empowering than the one you have while humiliating yourself. So stepping off the scales, accepting diversity, and quitting Who is More Beautiful game, I started my journey to self-acceptance. The next A was attract. People who love themselves, their life, they always spread joy and they attract others. I decided to change my life by adding and attracting positivity to it. Not only with friends and people around me, but also with media and working with my thoughts, which I could guide and control. And by seeing positive examples which inspire others to blossom with joy, I saw how myself, I started accepting my flaws and insecurities as something what is my own exceptions. And all these girls around the world talking about body positivity, and how it's fun to be different, inspired me share my example with others around me with the main message that that your size doesn't make you less of a human. So this is how I made this body positive initiative in Lithuania called Dydis Nesvarbu. I made a Facebook page where I was sharing my daily goals, how was I doing on my road to self-acceptance with its losses and its winnings. And I also shared this idea that you can enjoy every day instead of waiting for tomorrow when you'll be different, or maybe you even will be dead. And since I started the Facebook page, the audience grew to 8,000. I believe it was something new to them to see that they can be accepted by themselves, no matter what others were telling them about them. And then the third A was attend. And attend means not only teach myself, but also others to enjoy the life. Winter is the time then most of us have this fear about summer and bikinis. Already in January, media starts escalating what we have to do in order to change our bodies. And since when does summer care how you look? So I decided to have this idea, to share this idea with everybody that summer doesn't care, relax and enjoy it. And it was a small shock for everybody to see posters outside, in the magazines, online, or even on TV news. And not only it made a discussion for a beauty cult in society, it also inspired me to proceed with my ideas. And just last spring, I talked to some of the people about sport and its image in their head. And most of the answers were, oh, you know, I'm so afraid to be judged by someone in the gym that I'm not looking according to something, or I'm not performing good. And I was thinking, whoa, since when? Sport, which has so many positive things to us, which does so many positive things to us, has such a negative image in our heads. So I invited 10 coaches of 10 different and even stereotyped sports activities, such as pole dancing, biking, weightlifting, or even fitbox, to present sports as something positive and much more than weight losing idea. And attendees who participated in this activities, they were happy to try out different sports, even those which they maybe never could try. And they said that it was so fun when you don't have to think how to lose weight, but just to enjoy yourself. So with these two initiatives, I wanted to show that we can enjoy ourselves in whatever activity we want to. No one can tell us what we can do or we cannot do. And as much as I like working with grown-up people, I just love when students from school invite me to meet them. And while talking with girls about my own experiences and life stories, we always have these discussions, what do they feel when they grow up in their own bodies? Some of them are more active, some of them are less. But if at least one girl takes this message that she is enough just the way she is, then my journey is a great success. And then I start questioning myself. Do I give or do I get more? So self-acceptance, as I mentioned before, is not one day goal. It's your long life journey with its ups and its downs. But when the negative thoughts overshadow me, I always say to myself, stop, repeat your 3 A's, accept, attract, attend, and start acting. So I have to be honest. When I was invited to make a speech in this wonderful conference, I hesitated for some time. You see, will I be able to cope with the fear and stress while talking in front of such a smart audience? But then I thought, who else than me can share this message that our body sizes are not important for the way we live? And even so, maybe all of us together could empower more people to accept themselves. Or each one of us, after this conference, when we'll come back home and meet our loved ones, just tell them, hey, you are enough just the way you are. So dear all, I don't want you convinced to change your life. I just want to show you that there is other way of living your life without diminishing it all the time. And the one most important thing, always question the expected, especially when it is presented as one and only truth. Thank you.